on with the Nearly Historical Railroad channel. So we do model railroading stuff. We build mountains, we build towns, we run trains, we do all kinds of things like that. And yeah, so last video was kind of a long one. And we've been working on the Romley area, which is this area here. And in the last video, we had laid some dirt down. It was still wet, very wet with glue and water. And then I actually worked on it since then, but I didn't have my camera when I worked that night. And so I will show you kind of what it looks like now, kind of explain what I did. And I'm still trying to decide if I like it or not. I don't know. But well, that's part of the adventure. So I'm gonna show you this stuff. Not sure what else is gonna happen in this video at this moment because I haven't decided yet. All right, let me show you this. All right, here's the mountain behind Romley with the mine. So basically I came back and just added some real dirt and the grout mix and kind of put that on there. And then I also added some rocks that I had. Some little rocks. Just kind of put it here and there. Kind of coming down like that. And I also put down, since I was, gluing everything, put in a little bit of some little bush stuff here a little bit, and also some woodland scenics like fine turf. So, that gets a couple more layers of stuff on it. This is much better. This is the tunnel portal. I want to put a lot of rock around that actually. So we'll still do that. Now, here's the town of Romley without the buildings. So same thing, that dirt and grout mix. The dirt is quite a bit darker than the grout. And that's what I'm trying to decide if I'm okay with this or not, with the different colors, which, the world's not one color, so maybe this is good. This area here by the cows, I kind of tried something different. And basically it turned out the color of the grout, which is pretty light colored. Let me turn the brightness down a little here for you. So it's pretty light, but basically that same grout and dirt mix I put on here after painting it. I think that had dried. So I put down kind of another layer of the dirt and the grout, and I just sprayed it with water, and I used my finger and I just rubbed all of it in and broke up all that little dirt. And basically I literally made mud, and I just smeared it all around. And it appears to have dried pretty well actually. And it's in place. So it's just, doesn't have the dark colors and stuff like the other area does. And it's kind of lighter than I think I want. So I picked up some more grout from the store on the way out here. Now, they had the light colors like I already had, and dark. So I may experiment with that, maybe just mix a little bit of the dark in with the light. Maybe just kind of blend this darker into the lighter stuff here, possibly with that. Yeah. So, it's definitely all covered now. So this is good, It's looking better. I'm gonna clean these building thingies out and maybe just plop them in there again to look at them. Then decide what I'm going to do next. Let's go take a look over at the Palisades area because my dad has actually kind of been working on that stuff over there. So I just want to show you where he's gotten with that. It's looking pretty good. Okay, here we are in the Palisades area. So there's this retaining wall that my dad is working on. So he's got more of that done. He's kind of doing it in a couple different sections. And really he's kind of just figuring out where exactly to put it. Because we didn't want to have a super tall retaining wall from down here all the way up to here. So we're gonna let it step back a little bit. So he's just trying to kind of figure out how far to make that step. And yeah, this I think is gonna look really good. He's got the Pinsy over here just making sure we got clearance and whatnot. So that is coming along. This is good because this was all looking really well. We just had this big hole here. So he did put some thin wood on this just to give himself a nice base to be able to secure that wall to. I think this will be kind of neat. It's kind of a tall wall, but you know, it is what it is. I think it's gonna be fine. While we're here, let's talk about this bridge. I've since talked to Jim about it, and he said he's got over 100 of the little nut bolt washer thingies on this thing. So that's pretty cool. And I just noticed this also. If you look at the base that he built for the bridge there, he'd left this picture here, and this was just laying out here on the layout. And I noticed that that base that the bridge is on is that same design. It's like a triangle kind of thing on the edge there. So that's kind of what he was going for, and well, I think he nailed it. It looks really good. So. Back over here at Romley, I'm going to show you this also, that Scott actually painted all this, because I had added sculpt mold on most of it. So it was white again. So Scott kind of got that painted, and he put the dirt and grout mixture on it also, like I did, but I just kind of let it sit there and dry. He actually kind of worked it into the paint kind of with his fingers, and it kind of is similar to what it looks like over here with the, you know, cattle yard kind of stuff. Kind of came out somewhat similar. So it's kind of interesting. So there's a nice one coat of dirt and things on that now. So it looks better. So here's this piece of cardboard I cut out. It's a template, of course. And it fits right there. So that's like the base of the mill. I had this figured out once a long time ago, but I can't find that piece of cardboard, so I'm figuring it out again. Kind of see what kind of shape we want this mill to have. You know, steps down. Whatever. Let's see what happens here. You know, so I'm just trying to figure out how I want the side of this mill to look. It's kind of complicated, but maybe not. You just kind of get it. So this is kind of the foundation part that's gonna sit on, you know, my wood up there. I'm just kind of trying to figure out the roof line and how the top steps up, you know, the front wall's another roof and steps up again or something like that. And it doesn't, you know, looking at pictures of other mills, it doesn't have to match, you know, where this steps up, that doesn't have to match the foundation part. So that was kind of, I mean, it's simple, I guess, but I didn't really quite get that at first. It doesn't really have to match. So I'm just kind of deciding different things. And this angle, this is like the exact precise angle of what I think looks good. So I don't know what it is. I got these windows and stuff a long time ago. So I kind of use these to kind of, you know, maybe make some measurements and make sure they fit. I'm just going to use these. We got all these for like $1, I think. So I'm going to just use those up on this mill probably. I'm not modeling any particular mill. The only thing is up here at the top, there'll be a entry for the tramway that goes up to the mine up there. So anyways, just messing around here. Just trying to come up with something that might look good. Okay, so there's that mine up there. We've got a little bit of a flat spot right there for a tramway tower. So that will come down from there, and I want it to go into this mill. I had to do a little something out. I'm not gonna cut it out. It's getting late. I want to think about it. But you can see that pencil line. Possibly that would be the roof line. So that left This spot up here is taller because the tramway will go terminate into there. So that should be pretty cool. So one of the tricky things with this mill, we've talked about this before, but now you can kind of visualize it a little bit. We have this turnout here in this little siding. This is actually like a hidden reverse loop for the narrow gauge. We've actually never had it working. We just haven't hooked it all the way up yet because still gonna do some other track work here. But it's a reverse loop, and I'll explain another time why it's here because I gotta remember why. But what we're going to do though is we're gonna have it go into the mill right here. And it will look kind of like it's just a siding that goes into the mill. And, as if maybe just kind of went into this part of the mill. So it's kind of a secret reverse loop. And it just happens to be a siding that you can get a, 20 car train on it. So I think that actually is going to work out now that I kind of see this in place. I always knew it would, I just wasn't quite sure how. So this one's got the lines for the roof line. And I don't want this front edge to be too tall right there. So we'll see how this goes. We'll look at it next time I come back out. See how I feel about that. Alright, so we actually had some visitors over at my dad's house, so I kind of hung out with them for a while. It was kind of nice. So I just really didn't get in. I dressed to get dirty and it didn't happen. I did get more grout, like the dark stuff. Kind of curious to get that mixed in with lighter stuff and see how that will blend stuff in, but just didn't get to it tonight. That's fine. I really kind of want to try to get something on this going also, just because this is so ugly looking. Just this big hole. So I thought even if I can get some kind of mock-up kind of started here, that would be good. Yep. So, I think that's it. That's it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, just like it. Might as well just do that. Alright, I don't know, my dad just walked out, it's getting late, so now I'm just here by myself saying goodbye to everybody. It's okay. It's good to see you all. I'm assuming you're there because someone's watching the video, so alright. Boy, I'm just blabbing now. Okay, goodbye. See you later. Look at this. Maybe this is too tall. Maybe this could come up a little bit here and maybe come down like that. On the back side. There's still plenty of room for all the tramway workings. Yeah, I don't know. So